to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this August 6th. We are quickly approaching 5 o'clock this morning, and that means it is time for a check of our weather with meteorologist Megan Dusmal. Megan, run us through what's going on halfway through our working week.
Well, this morning we are seeing a little bit of fog, especially for more of our southern counties. Taking a look towards Monticello and Williamsburg, that's where we're going to see some of the densest fog, and we're nice and clear in terms of those rain chances. Not any rain in the forecast for this morning, but we'll start to see some slight chances of rain arising as we're heading into the mid-morning hours, and some chances for storms as we're heading into the afternoon and evening. Current temperatures across the region mainly sitting in the mid to upper 60s, but you'll notice 70s popping out for both Somerset and 71 in Monticello. This afternoon, though, we will continue to see those hot temperatures as we are sitting right about normal to slightly cooler than normal for today, with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s, with the exception of Somerset and Irvine starting to get into those mid 80 mark. And we'll continue to see those temperatures warming up, hitting the high around that 4 o'clock time frame. Amelia.
It's a split-second decision that can have deadly consequences. Running red lights kills more than 1,000 people every year in the U.S. This is National Stop on Red Week, so AAA is urging drivers to think twice before ignoring traffic signals. Victoria Ware spoke with AAA about the dangers.
Whether it's a red light, a stop sign, or a school bus arm, ignoring these signals can have deadly consequences.
Over 1,000 people killed every year just by red light running alone is just an example of how dangerous this practice is.
AAA Public Affairs Manager Lori Weaver-Hawkins says that running a red light is a form of aggressive driving.
If you are approaching an intersection and it's what we kind of refer to as a stale green light, meaning that it's likely going to change soon, that's when you should be planning to stop. And instead, we see a lot of people going through on late yellow lights that turn red as they're going through the intersection.
She says it's important to be alert on the roadway and be mindful of yellow lights and stale green lights. And with the school year starting up soon, the roads won't only be full of cars, but also school buses. Bo Evans, Traffic Safety Director for the City of Huntington, says it's important for drivers to be prepared.
Urge drivers to, pay attention to what they're doing, make sure they're not driving distracted, make sure that they're slowing down. School's getting ready to start back, so make sure that they're not passing school buses illegally. And
to protect yourself, Hawkins says you shouldn't assume other drivers will stop. So when the light turns green, give it a few seconds before you go. Victoria Ware, WSAZ.
National Stop on Red Week runs through August. He says these are safety habits that we need all year round. Well, the Gifford fire in Central California is now the state's biggest this year, burning more than 82,000 acres. The wildfire is just 7% contained and is expected to keep growing over the next few days. Residents are already on edge this week as they mark 2 years since the deadly wildfires on the island. The cause of the Gifford fire is under investigation. At least 3 people have been injured. The manhunt is widening for a veteran suspected of gunning down 4 people at a Montana bar. The search for Michael Brown has now entered its 5th day near the small town of Anaconda. The reward for information leading to his capture has been up to $10,000. Investigators are also now expanding their search area. According to authorities, the suspect fled the crime scene in a white pickup, which they say he later abandoned. Law enforcement says he stole a different vehicle with camping gear, shoes, and clothes in it. New recordings are revealing what Brooks Houck has been saying in hundreds of calls made while he was sitting in the Warren County Jail. Houck was recently found guilty in the Crystal Rogers murder case. He can be heard on a jail phone call telling his own brother he fears he'll die behind bars.
After a jury speaks like they did, that's a permanent decision. I know there's an appeals process, but with the political pressure behind this right here, I don't see the appellate court judges changing anything You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just,
I mean,
I'm in disbelief.
There's nothing I can do.
The night Brooks Houck was convicted, he made 16 phone calls spanning from 3:46 to 8:13 that evening. He was dating Rogers at the time, and they even had a child together. The last, which you just heard, was to his brother, Nick Houck. He also made a call to his current girlfriend, Crystal Maupin, asking her to reach out to contacts so they can sell equipment to cover expenses. He also made 2 separate phone calls with his mother, Rosemary Houck. Houck is scheduled to be sentenced August 21st. In those calls, we also heard Brooks Houck's sister, Rhonda McIlvoy, tell him that she and her husband would like to adopt his son that he shared with Rogers. Last month, she petitioned the court for full custody of Houck's son. Here's part of that phone conversation.
I guess my next question to you is, Alice and I would like to adopt him.
All right.
I know that's horrible to have to say to you, but just anything that makes it as permanent as possible so that she doesn't have anything to go on.
I agree.
Houck also made calls trying to sell off properties. It led to a judge to freeze all of Houck's assets amid a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Crystal Rogers' family. A hearing for that is in October. Kentucky's Attorney General is sounding the alarm over a dangerous drug behind dozens of overdose deaths. Attorney General Russell Coleman is calling on the state to ban bromazolone, also known as designer Xanax, which is being sold illegally and often mistaken for prescription medication. Officials say it's highly potent and deadly, especially when mixed with opioids. Coleman wants emergency action to empower law enforcement to get the drug off Kentucky streets. Well, you could soon be receiving your DoorDash order from a drone, and that's according to the Trump administration. The Department of Transportation proposed new drone regulations yesterday. Brendan Cullerton spoke to Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy about the federal plan to harness drone power.
Right now, drone operators generally need to see the aircraft they're flying with the naked eye. The Trump administration says relaxing those requirements would jumpstart the U.S. economy and help keep pace with China.
This has been a long time coming.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the American consumer experience is set for an overhaul with commercial drone use.
Change the way you get your Amazon package. You may get a Starbucks cup of coffee from a drone. The way you get your products will fundamentally change.
The FAA says the U.S. risks falling behind China in the space if it does not act soon, and they want to take more ownership over the situation.
This is happening today. We have drones in operation in our skies. It's not as regulated, perhaps, as it should be. It's done on an exception basis, which makes it very, very difficult to manage.
Duffy says the administration is updating the rules to allow for more activity while trying to keep the skies as safe as possible with increased air traffic.
We understand the equities, we understand the risks, and we work to mitigate those risks. But if we don't update these rules and we allow our adversaries to evolve this technology, it's very dangerous to deploy someone else's commercial technology into our airspace.
Duffy did not provide a timeline on mass usage for commercial drones. He says it will be important to receive the approval of state and local governments to allow for operations. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
A long-awaited U.S. Coast Guard report on the Titan submersible disaster found the tragedy just over 2 years ago could have been prevented. In the report, investigators say Ocean Gate CEO Stockton Rush ignored safety warnings, design flaws, and crucial oversight. Rush was among the 5 people killed when the vessel imploded in June of 2023 on its way to the Titanic wreckage. A company spokesperson said it was fully cooperating with the investigation.